Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you happen to be in this wide world. And welcome to another episode of Tarheel by Dark. This time we find ourselves in the sewers underneath Asheville, in the inner sanctum of one David Menashe, recent Duke of this particular district. And sitting beside him, going over the day's work, is his knight, one Nathaniel Ashford. All right, Ashford. And they're sitting in front of in front of his computer in um his computer room. There's computers everywhere, but this one happens to be Menashe's.
Hmm.
All right, Ashford. That's all from mine. Did you have anything?
Sadly, I think we have a letter from a acquaintance from somewhere that needs translation from Malkavian Akashic record speech into actual language that is comprehensible by the tongues of man.
Oh, don't tell me it's him. Let's see it.
He, he literally holds up what appears to be a cipher of extremely confusing origin.
Okay. He takes the letter and looks through it. Yeah, this looks like him. Hang on a second. He goes over to a machine on his desk. Looks like a printer, but it's not quite. And it's the scanner, and but it's a scanner by itself, and he runs it through, and you see the same thing that you saw on the paper appear on the screen. Okay, let's see. He starts doing math in his head. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's from Mobile. Um, Looks like a gentleman by the name of Lucas Saint is coming in a couple of days. Huh.
Hmm.
He's an Assamite.
Hmm. Ashford actually visibly brightens up at this. Hmm.
Hmm. With a fondness for certain targets, looks like.
Hmm.
And
Uh,
at this, he goes over and he highlights some of the cipher and it instantly changes to Tremere.
with this, the grin on Ashford's face just becomes irrepressible. Oh, I think I'm going to like this individual.
He'd be a good one to keep an eye on a certain region. Not that I'd necessarily want her dead, because that would be beneath me, but
But perhaps scared, or
interesting.
at least, you know. Hmm.
And let's see, he's got a wait. He switches to another computer that's right beside him and starts typing. And you see Google searches and all kinds of crazy searches pop up on his screen. Huh. Saint Security. Interesting. I think Red Owl Security has something to make.
Hmm.
Yes, let's do that, Cindy. Huh. That'll get to him in probably a day. Yeah. Meanwhile, we switch scenes to a day after. Um, and no, Ian, you actually get the um the paperwork for a business partnership in the mail. or in either the mail or by email, however you want to receive it. Um, but yeah, you receive this paperwork in the mail. You can choose how to respond to it,
There
or
will be.
you could just. It also lists a date and time a couple of days after you get it, which we will do as current day uh, to meet a David Menashe and a Nathaniel Ashford at a certain location, Red House Securities, to discuss terms. And most of the terms were already listed out in the paperwork.
You would. Can you hear me?
Hmm?
Test.
We got you.
Okay. Response would come. We should. We shall talk about it when we meet in person.
All right. All right.
And it's just signed LS.
LS. Okay. All right. So we fast forward to the day in question. It's fairly almost a hole in the wall place, just off of 74 in Charlotte, where you would be coming in. And it has a sign out front that says Red Owl Security. And there's this late at night, there's one car in the parking lot, which is unusual for this late at night.
Yeah. There's. If you're watching your cameras, there's two cars pull. Actually, two black SUVs pull up.
Okay.
One. Let me double check. I just need to double check here. Okay, so I don't know how you guys are running cast no reflection, if it's affecting cameras or not in the game here.
It is, so there would be a blur.
Okay, so there a door opens and something steps out
Of the car. Okay.
of one of the two SUVs.
Okay. And David, of course, is watching this, and he looks and, huh. And there's a and Ashford, there is an audible chuckle as he looks at the camera. Huh. All right. Um, I think our special guest has arrived. Shall we?
Of course, of course.
All right.
Well,
Hopefully your office doesn't have metal detectors.
Um, it doesn't. No, it doesn't have metal detectors.
I
No,
was going to say because it
but
might be going off for days after Lucas's visit.
okay. All right. But yeah, he David gets up and steps out of the office, and we go through several hallways and get to the door. And David sits at the desk that's at the front of the office and just waits for him to actually walk in if he hasn't come in yet.
Yeah.
yeah,
Huh?
at this point, I'm just taking my typical mafia consigliere kind of place at his right hand, just kind of waiting as well in a more defensive position.
Okay.
Everybody's so paranoid about an Assamite's arrival. Why? I don't know. A man in a black three-piece suit and a black trench coat that hangs absolutely perfectly. Like, even the Venture would be like, damn.
Uh-huh.
Steps up to the door and opens the door and walks in. The cameras show nothing but a blur, but you see the guy in the picture.
Yeah. Okay. And
He
obviously you see his face.
stands about 6 foot, dangerously lithe in his movements, eyes like a hawk.
And this gentleman is not scared in the least when he looks at him. But he looks at him and says, "Ah, Mr. Saint, I presume.
Yes.
Good to see you. Welcome to Red Owl."
Thank you.
Now, I suppose you got the letter, which is obviously why you're here. So, all of the details were laid out in the paperwork. If you will, come with me and we can just have a little friendly discussion. Ashford, and he'll get up and he'll actually walk over to Lucas and extend a hand.
You shake it. He's wearing black gloves.
Okay. All right. And for a split second, let's see. Hold on just a second. You see this. And then he puts his face back on. All right.
Okay, I know at this point it's really just semantics, but
But yeah.
yeah, he can tell if power's been used.
Oh well, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. Yeah.
But yeah, for just a split second, you saw a real Nazi face, and then back to the mask. Now,
He doesn't even blink.
yeah.
No, literally, he actually doesn't blink.
Okay. Okay.
That's a mortal thing. So he literally actually doesn't blink.
He can't. He can't really blink. He doesn't have to. So, this is now that that's out of the way. Come with me, and he takes you through a couple of hallways, to a back room, and opens the door for you. Says, "Please go on in."
He steps in.
Right. He'll walk in behind you, Ashford behind him, and he'll indicate the seat for you, which is actually, you see, really it's more of a round table that he leads you to, and there's 3 chairs sitting around it, and he takes the what would be the center one, um, between that would be between Ashford and you, and he indicates the one for you and the one for Ashford. And
he takes off his coat and sets it on the back of the chair. But the way it thunks against the ground, yeah, you kind of suspect that if you had metal detectors, they might be going off for a couple of days.
Okay. All right. He just kind of casually glances at the thunk of the coat, and you see a small smirk appear on his face. Yes, well prepared, very good. Now,
Oh, I came light.
yes, as in
I didn't want to scare you off.
As any Asimite should. Good. Anyway, uh, David Menashe, obviously. This is Nathaniel Ashford. He's my right hand man. Whatever you need to say, he's trustworthy. Um, but we took a look at your business and we like what we see. You can handle the physical security, and we will supplement with IT security. And if you happen to need animal backup, we can provide.
I've heard of this. Uh, sorry, Walter. This company good reputation or not? I mean, I have the influence
Oh
probably, but
yes,
I've heard.
yes. Red Owl is a very good company,
Yep.
very reputable.
By the way, nothing menacing, but just rolling perception empathy to kind of get a measure of this guy. So you're basically just seeing the 6'4", broad-shouldered Venture just kind of giving you this side eye, and I'm definitely spending a willpower on this. So, going. Woo! Wee!
Nice.
That's a lot of
So
successes. That's
3, 4, 5, 6, and you double tens.
Yep, specialty and
Okay, you
micro
do
expressions.
8. 8.
Uh,
So, what's he feeling right now? Is he?
he actually he is almost almost his calm. Oh, and by the way, he does have eerie presence. Don't forget about that. His
Oh,
calm is tangible. He is a stone cold killer.
by the way, if vampires could feel cold, this room would be freezing because David has eerie presence as well.
Uh, this guy would be there is a reason he has eerie presence, and this is probably amongst the reasons he is just yeah he is one of those. He's one of those. He's an
Okay.
asinite.
Okay. All right.
So he
But
feels nothing.
right.
So,
David looks back and forth between the two and just, okay, boys. Now,
Are you
do
finished?
you have? Hmm?
Are you finished reading me?
oh well, I had to do a little bit of an inspection. I like your bearing, very professional, steely.
Hmm.
The predatory vibe is not just a facade. I definitely approve.
Hmm.
He just
Do,
chuckles.
now, Mr. Saint, do you have the paperwork?
Yes, and he pulls out an envelope from inside of his suit and takes out the papers.
Hmm. Very good.
Takes out,
Uh,
strangely enough, takes out a pair of reading glasses.
okay.
Slips them on.
All right. Now, uh,
I don't know why people seem more calmed with people wearing glasses. I learned this a long time ago.
Oh, I know the feeling. He
but
actually will remove his Ozzy Osbourne kind of dark purple shades and tap them in his breast pocket. Eh,
mhm,
eh.
mhm. But
So, so I'm
David
assuming
will.
because one of you got. I apologize for interrupting.
Oh no, go ahead. I'm curious.
I'm assuming because one of you got my letter that one of you is a harpy.
Hmm. As close as the town gets, I'd say. Rumor mill, uh, intelligentsia, that kind of thing.
Yes, he tends to get letters from outside the state when I don't. But this one I had to translate. Your harpy's a bit of an odd one.
And just carry. I'm going, because you got so many successes. I'm just gonna let that. It's genuine humor. Like he is genuinely laughing.
Okay.
Like he finds it humorous.
Yes. We like him, but he's a bit hard to understand at times. Anyway, let me get my paperwork.
Trust me,
He'll,
if you ever get battle plans from that man,
Mm.
oh, I
I
don't
still
cherish the thought.
I still have a headache from that the battle plan he sent me 42 years ago.
Mm, I'd like to take a look at it. But anyway, he goes over to a file cabinet that's off to the side, pulls one of the drawers out, and in the very back he pulls an envelope, closes the drawer, throws his on the table, pulls out the paperwork, flips it open. Okay, now.
Oh, sorry, one thing though, guys. If you guys are paying attention when he reaches in for his envelope, you could do I guess, a perception awareness, I suppose.
All right.
Let
I'm
me
gonna do it.
see. Let me get the beat up here.
This time I don't see nothing. He's clearly not paying attention. Kind of unlimited.
Um, hang on. Trying to modify things here. Okay. Perception alertness. Okay. Uh, so, well, come on. There we go. Uh-huh. You were saying?
Oh yeah, you can tell the inside of his coat has more than a few throwing knives.
Okay. All right. No reaction at all. He just, you know, throws his envelope on the table, pulls out the paperwork, says, "Okay, Mr. Saint, did you have any issues
He
with the
read
terms?"
he reads through it. This is just a standard normal contract.
Hmm. Good.
Is it just a standard normal contract, Walter?
Yeah, it's standard contract. IT guy to security guard guy, that kind of thing.
Yeah, he's checking to make sure there's no fine print.
There's not. This is completely on the level. Um, there is mention of potential contracts between the two. Those can go to um, either CEO of the company, since it's just a small company. Um, and then there is a caveat that they can also go to a Nathaniel Ashford on your side.
Um, there's a misspelling here. My name is Saints, not Sanits.
Uh, he looks at his paperwork and says, "Gee, I wonder who sent that one off, because this one's fine." And he shoves it to you. If you'd rather sign this one,
He signs both of them.
okay. He takes it, signs it.
I'm assuming that these are like 20, 30-page contracts. There's always bound to
Yeah,
be one or two misspelling, no matter how many times you go through it.
true. Yeah. Uh huh. Like, okay. So, yeah, we'll take a look at that and see who messed that one. See who made that copy. Anyway, but looks like everything's straightened out. Now to the nitty gritty. Um, there's a reason I was interested in seeing you myself. We've had issue with a certain clan in the past, and we know of your penchant.
And yes, he's laughing again.
Okay. Not saying that we want anything to happen, but we want eyes on them.
Yes, that's usually amongst the first things I do, and arrive in there.
Hmm.
I would say a city, but this is a special kind of domain, isn't it?
Yes, you'll find the entire state is under one man. I happen to be in charge of not this place, but the one who is in charge allows me to be here. Anyway, the one, the first one you will be looking for is a Jeremiah Biltmore. He's the Duke of this particular district. Um, he is Ventru, like my friend here, and he indicates Ashford. I am obviously Nosferatu. I actually am Duke of Appalachia, northwest of here. That was a Walter flub. Um, so if you're ever in Asheville, ask around. They actually call me. He reaches into a pocket and pulls out a card and hands it to you.
He gives him a card too.
Okay. Ah, good, 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 good. Now, I'll say a name. I don't want to know. I want eyes on this person. That is all I ask.
He,
Charlotte Caraway.
he takes it out of the notebook. There's
Okay.
a number of names that are crossed out.
Okay.
By the
He,
way,
he glances at it and just kind of nods.
with the
Huh.
mention of the regent's name, I mean, Nathaniel's movie star grin just goes from, Cary Grant to utter great white shark, just snarling, thinking about how close she came to, some stuff.
What was that last
But
name again? Sorry.
Caraway. Carr. Actually, I've seen it spelled with one and two R's. Away.
Got it.
Caraway. But she is regent. You will find her in Wake. She seems to have she seems to have the support of the prince, but I don't know how deep that runs.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it'll be a matter of time before she comes looking for me. Their clan really, really dislikes me.
Ah,
Oh, you're among
ah,
friends here, at least one of them. Uh,
yes. Yeah, we don't particularly care for the Tremere.
as a matter of fact, permission to
Uh,
speak freely, boss.
hmm?
Permission to speak freely, boss.
He just waves. Like, are you kidding? Go ahead.
Um, let's just say if my plant wasn't eviscerated by certain individuals of the state, we wouldn't be having this problem. I had effectively put a leash on her proxy, but unfortunately, he wound up getting himself killed.
Yes, that one.
A Tremere
That
that gets himself killed? I am shocked. Utterly shocked. And because of so many successes, yeah, if you look
it's
down, there might actually be a pool of sarcasm at his feet.
okay. All right. Huh. Yes. She's a sneaky one, obviously, but I have a feeling you're sneakier. Anyway, um, the reason we have problems with them specifically is there was a man called Tyson who was Duke of East Carolina a few months back. He ended up being an infernalist, and he almost spits at this whenever right after he
Oh
says it.
no! You say infernalist, and Lucas actually spits.
Okay. All right. It's like, huh. Good man. Anyway, um, yeah, we tend to watch them a little closer. They're a little harder to get at because of their magic. Well, I say magic, but I've seen better. Anyway,
Uh, there's a specific reason why they dislike me.
oh,
I wrestled a secret from their archives once upon a time.
uh,
Okay, rolling
really?
manipulation subterfuge to try and hide the fact that I'm obviously impressed at this, but let's see how this goes.
Okay, all right.
And oh, I do no good
You
job.
know, you're grinning whenever he says it. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
I really notice.
yeah. You don't even need to roll for that one. You're just like,
Is he
but
is he doing the Monty Burns ringing of the fingers and
Yeah, I mean, basically, yeah. And like a
let's
much
see.
younger man, but
You know
yes.
what? Let's do this. Manip subterfuge. He's not very good at, but I know that's weird. But you see a smirk on his face. I'll just say it that way. When you say it. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Care to share?
not a
Care
lot
to
of
share more?
not a lot of people know about counter thaumaturgy.
Excellent. That'll come in very handy. Okay then. Um. So Charlotte Caraway. That's all I need to say. Um. If you could provide info, that would be wonderful. And perhaps we'll do you a solid in the future.
How intelligent is this lady?
Hmm,
Pretty sharp.
scientifically, at least, she did seem to have a vague knowledge of hematology. Um, seems to be somewhat of a doctor of some of the stranger sciences, but uh, not exactly politically um, skilled at concealing her distaste. She
Mm,
openly insulted one of the ducal council in front of me, but you know.
that was stupid. Anyway,
Are you not actually a harpy?
Hmm, well, unofficial.
yeah, he gets letters from time to time. Uh,
Curious question, and I mean, I'm an independent, so really it's none of my business. If you tell me to go screw myself, but if he's already doing the job, why isn't he actually in the job?
I didn't know if it would be a conflict of interest holding multiple titles after all.
What other titles do you hold?
well,
Um,
Knight for one, and
Part,
David
part,
grins at him when he says it.
mhm.
Pardon my ignorance of the camera, I don't remember that being an official camera with title.
Ah, yes. Well, seems the prince has taken on a more
Old world.
But technically,
style
if
of
it,
he has okay. All right.
but it,
He at this point he pulls his fingers. Okay. You have the prince who has divided his domain, which is the entire state, into districts. Each of those districts is ruled by a duke or duchess, as gender would dictate. Each of those is permitted to appoint any lords or knights. Knights is the more militaristic, but usually the most used title, and they do some of the dirty work of each duke. Um, you are currently within the Mecklenburg district, run by Duke Jeremiah Biltmore Josiah. Um, and I am Duke of Appalachia. Our prince, I should have said this first, is Josiah. Samuel Josiah. If you need something done, first recommendation is to talk to your Duke or Duchess. If you're going to be here long, that would be Biltmore. If you happen to come to Appalachia, you would speak with me or Ashford.
Yeah, I haven't actually figured out where I'm going to be settling down my roots. This is just where the business is going to be run out of.
Understood?
And this is just a bit of friendly advice. Don't ask too many questions, but stay away from Grandfather Mountain. There's
Yes. Um, Grandfather Mountain is off limits. Let's just put it that way.
Is a what now?
Grandfather Mountain is off limits
Okay,
to all of us.
I have no idea what the hell that is, so I'm assuming it's a mountain.
Yes, in my district.
Okay.
It's just, it's, I'd have, Walt would have to look at a map, but it's not far from Asheville. Um,
I guess a diplomatic term for it would be a special administrative zone.
yes.
Okay. Sure.
We don't go there, and the residents there don't come to see us. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Now, so yeah, Charlotte Caraway. We've handled the mountain issue. He looks at Ashford. What am I missing?
Let's see. Covered the way things are run around here. Covered
Mm-hmm.
the troubleshooting through the Dukes.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte. Possibly getting up with Jeremiah. That'll be left to me. There is a
Okay.
possibility of more work later on, but that would possibly be a personal issue which we would work out between ourselves. He just kind of gives him a little bit of a confidential grin. Um, uh, Honestly, I think you did a fair job of summing everything up.
Hmm. So, and once you get that potential appointment, actually, yeah, it probably would be better to go through Biltmore. I don't particularly care to do that, but I'd like to go. I like to go straight to the man. But yeah, go through Biltmore, get an appointment with him to see his daddy. By the way, that is his sire. The prince is his sire. Um, if the names didn't tell you. Um,
Kind
yeah,
of, I kind of caught the meaning of the daddy issues.
yeah, yeah.
It's not out of any disrespect, but there have been issues.
Mm-hmm.
So it's best we just follow the chain of command.
He got a
So
little
far,
big for his britches and challenged his practice. But anyway,
he did.
yeah. But yeah,
Hold on,
Ashford will make you.
a domain this big and there being issues? No,
I know,
I
right?
don't believe you.
Anyway,
And the tone of his voice is obvious that he's like,
it's dripping.
yeah,
It's dripping with sarcasm. Yeah.
yeah.
So, Ashford will get you an appointment with Biltmore, who'll probably set an appointment to see Josiah. You might actually like Josiah. Um, he's not a bad guy. Anyway, um, but yeah, and I will talk to my family and see if they know of any other names we could give you. I don't personally like. I very rarely like to get my hands dirty, but I will on occasion, especially for things like Tyson. I wish I had had a chance. Anyway,
Oh, I don't mind the occasional bit of wet work, but because of my issues, the Tyson thing was
yeah,
too many black masses for me, and I've only seen a couple.
it's okay. Nate, calm down. It's okay. Anyway, yeah, I'll talk to the family and we'll keep in touch. Uh, actually, I have an idea. Hold on just a second. He goes to his computer. Um, that's a little bit off from the table that you're sitting at, and does a couple of things. And better do it on phone. And he comes back. He's apparently a little indecisive tonight. Uh, Comes back, sits down, pulls out his phone, and punches a couple of things on it, and sets it on the table. It rings. Click. Shalom. You hear another voice, like Harry, Harry, good to hear you. Like, what's up, David? Um, we've got a gentleman here who might need transportation. David looks at Saint with a question on his face.
Transportation's fine. I got 2 cars out front.
Oh, yes, very good. Anyway, um, he also has a penchant that you might be interested in. And you hear a very long pause. Oh, really? Yes. It seems he has a distrust for Caraway's family. And then there's another long pause.
And the guy on the pause would hear a audible chuckle at the understatement of the century.
Uh-huh. Okay. Like, uh-huh. That might come in handy. You're good at keeping secrets, right? This is the guy on the phone.
Secrets? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what are secrets? Anyway, yeah, their family and my family didn't always have never gotten along.
Okay.
Well,
They, huh?
is it fair for me to roll to hear this?
Oh, he is saying it. You don't have to hear it.
Okay.
You mean you don't
He
have
is
to roll it?
saying it outright. You don't have to roll.
Okay.
Yeah, their family and mine have never gotten along.
Okay. Well, then that family is.
That family's information doesn't go beyond this room.
What information?
Good.
Ashford looks to David and just pantomimes zipping his lip and throwing away
Uh-huh.
the key.
And David said, Harry, Nate knows nothing, and Mr. Saint knows nothing. And then you hear a audible sigh. I have an eye in the middle of my forehead. Does that say enough?
Interesting. Walt,
What?
I have no kindred lore.
Oh,
Um,
don't. So it doesn't say enough, but it's like David looks over at at the obvious confusion on his face. Salubri, the healers. This is David talking. The Tremere all but slaughtered his kindred family.
Then I might have something your family might like to have.
Oh, really?
If they already hate you, then perhaps a little secret of theirs might be useful to you.
No, I will not defile myself with that.
Fair enough. Are we talking about the same thing? I'm going to guess yes.
Probably. If it's a
hmm.
secret of theirs, there's only one thing that's a secret of theirs.
That causes them to hate anybody who gets their hands on it.
Quite. But anyway, if you happen to be in another part of the state and need a place to stay, call me. David can give you the number.
Excellent. And he gives a phone number for himself as well.
Okay.
Same offer.
Huh. Noted. On the phone. Noted. Thank you. Um, Saint was it? What was the first?
Lucas.
Lucas. Lucas Saint. Good to know. Um, and if I happen to drop a name, I don't want to know. Obviously. But anyway, and uh, David will actually start looking through his coat. Ah, and give me a perception roll.
Straight perception?
Uh, Perception alertness.
All right.
Well, Ashford already knows about it. I want to see if Saint sees it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got a couple of successes in there.
You see a
Just
bit of string on his arm. Um, let's just say you see at the end of his coat bit of string and a glint of metal. So he actually pulls out he reaches in a pocket and pulls out a card and hands it to you. That's Harry's info. Harry Wallace. He's knight of our beloved prince. Um, if you need something, he'll figure something out. Won't you, Harry? Yeah, I will. Especially for somebody with a similar distaste.
and there's an equal chuckle.
hmm Anyway, um, so Harry, I think that'll about do it for you. But actually, no, we need an appointment with your boss for this guy. Okay, huh? Give me a second. He you hear a shuffling off in the distance. He says, "All right, hang on," and then you hear typing. Lucas Saint. Yeah, I think I can find a spot for you. I'll have to talk to the boss and see when see when would be best. He's got a few spots open. Uh, Maybe in a couple of days would be fine. Um, hasn't been feeling too well, but we could work you in. Yeah, but yeah, we will give you a call back. Uh, Either I will or David will, and let you know when that could be. Okay?
Excellent. The second number on the card is a secure number. so you can openly talk on that one.
Good to know. Okay. All right. He will reach to his phone and punch in all the numbers and hit send. He's obviously texting something. Okay. And the other end goes, got it. Yep. Okay. Noted. Thank you, Mr. Saint. And David, I'll catch you later. Shalom, brother. Click. Okay. Now, so we've got that appointment figured out. Yeah, I know you wanted to do it, Ashford, but I handled this one.
No problem.
But yeah, if you need something, give me a
Curious
call.
question for you.
Yeah.
What's
Hmm.
your medal? What's your medal?
He glances at you and grins and looks down at his arm. Crossbow.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Well,
Reaches
not a
behind him.
not a traditional crossbow, but
Reaches behind him. Pulls out a 45 pistol.
nice. Nice piece.
Yeah, one of the beauties about Saint security options is all of our security are licensed to carry,
Very useful.
fully licensed.
And if you happen to hire any more, I don't think he'll have a problem me saying this. Um, I think Harry can get their licenses cleared fairly quickly.
I have a few friends up in securities and defense myself, so
Good. Maybe you and Harry have more to talk about. But anyway, you could do that whenever he has more time. I think he was actually busy. I must have caught him on a good moment. Anyway, um, anything else, gentlemen? Because I
Hmm.
think I'm done.
All in all, seems like a very reliable gentleman. I wholeheartedly approve. He actually steps forward to kind of shake your hand and just kind of.
he returns. He shakes his hand.
All right, not trying to crush your hand or anything, but just trying to make an impression. And
What's your strength?
4. So with 3 successes on that, pretty good.
It's a little bit better than my 3 strength. So
Yeah. The shake, the first shake whenever you shook David's hand was about equal. So,
yeah.
anyway. So, um, I guess that wraps things up. Um, one thing you're gonna need access. So, I'll get an ID only for you, um, made up in a couple of days, and we'll get it to you. Anytime you need to come see, um, one of us, just walk into any location and they'll let you talk to me. I'll probably not be on the surface much, but maybe Ashford will on occasion. So,
He reaches into his pocket.
hmm
It's a green one. That's a red one. That's a black one. He's going through like badges. Here we go. And you a black badge and Ashford a green badge.
Hmm.
okay,
They're they're
huh.
specialty visit. You'd recognize them as specialty visitor passes.
Mhm.
Right, okay, huh.
Yeah, it has the pictures spot is empty. The name spot is empty. He goes, I'm sure you can deal with that information.
Yeah, it's not a problem. But he quickly puts it in his coat. Huh. So, And Ashford, if you need help with that, just come see me. We'll fix that. Uh,
Alright.
but yeah, we'll get you one made up in a couple of days, and I look forward to working with you.
He'll offer his hand.
He'll take it, shake it, and again that same grip that you're used to, that that he gave you before.
Yeah.
All right. So you you don't need to go home, but you can't stay here. If you need a place to stay, get up with Harry. He's good at that kind of thing.
I've got my place for the moment.
Good. Okay.
I'm up in a hotel right now. I'm going to check out the area, see which place best suits me.
Okay.
Although I hear the Appalachia area is friendly towards brethren of mine.
Uh, at this, the face darkens just a wee bit. Oh. Oh.
I'm
Huh.
extremely good at what I do,
Uh huh. Interesting.
but that doesn't leave the room. They don't know yet.
Don't know what.
Exactly.
Anyway, that is that was not mentioned in the letter. Good to know. Okay.
That's because most don't know.
Mhm. Mhm.
Of course, out of character, the good question is, which particular clan is he referring to?
Gee, I wonder. Like, huh.
Well, technically, both could be apt, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Uh. Hmm. We may have to talk about that later. But yeah. Um. I'm sure we could find you a place in Appalachia. Um. I think Harry might know of a place that would be would be good for you, but we'll have to talk and see if he's willing to open up to a stranger. Um, but yeah, uh,
To be honest, if you needed a place to stay, my home is always open.
your old one.
Mm.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, that's a possibility. Tell you what, Ashford, give him the address.
Alright. So he'll basically mention a small brownstone in Charlotte. And careful though, there is a Malkavian that does like to wear my clothes on occasion. I was going to transfer title over, but I don't know. She does tend to sneak around.
A Malkavian that likes to wear your clothes.
Unfortunate
That's
predicament.
completely unheard of.
I would say I was surprised, but I don't like to lie.
Completely unheard of, right? Anyway.
Actually, what am I saying? I love to lie. What the fuck am I talking about?
By the way, yes, David's that ding you hear in the background is David's phone going off regular
Oh,
intervals.
and you guys hear a particular ringtone.
Okay.
Da, 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 da,
Oh,
da.
like what? And David stops and looks at you, looks down at wherever the sound is coming from,
Takes out his cell
look
phone.
looks back up at you,
He
and
keeps
the
changing it.
biggest grin you've ever seen him wear. I mean, he's been smirking, but this is a full-on grin.
I, I, I,
Uh-huh.
I keep changing it back, but he keeps putting it back, and I'm gonna smack him.
He keeps Who?
My Google.
Oh. Well,
It's his little
considering it is
it's
kind
his
of
little way.
funny.
Uh, it, it, it's funny for a little while, but after 40 years, really?
Oh, wait.
He's been using it.
Does he have a little bit of the Malkavian seeing?
No, he just loves movies.
Okay.
For the first little while, it was every time I walked into the room. And then when we entered the ringtone phase,
Okay. Anyway. um, but yeah, I kind of like it. It's interesting. But c'est la vie. Anyway, yeah, I think that'll about do it. you let me show you back out. And I tell you what, designate. You only have the one ghoul, yes?
yes, for the moment.
Get us his name, and we'll make one up for him.
You'll write down a name on a piece of paper and hand it over.
All right. Okay, can do. And if you'll send us a picture, that would help, but not necessary.
Takes out a cell phone.
Oh,
They're very useful.
yes, they are. Text me that. Text me his picture when you find it.
He just did.
Okay. Ah, good. Got it. And name. All right.
Oh,
Okay. Well,
and he did take his jacket with him.
yeah, yeah. Of course. Darn it, missed out on the hardware. Oh well. But yeah, he'll take note of the name and picture, and he'll put his phone away and escort you back through the hallways with Ashford in tow, and say, "Well, we'll keep in touch, and let us know what you find on that little contract." Yeah.
He chuckles, of course.
You have a good night, and we'll see you later. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we end the scene.